Hello viewers, welcome back to our lecture series on marketing management. This is going to be part 2 of our discussion on understanding marketing environment. So as I told you in the previous lecture of mine that we broadly classify the entire environment into two broad segments. One is micro environment, another is macro environment. And in this micro environment we have already discussed about how to deal with the companies, suppliers and marketing intermediaries. Now we will talk about the fourth component of micro environment, that is customers. Now people think that how to discuss how to deal with the customers. Customers are basically those points, this is the only point where we are generating revenues. Barring this point, all other components, they are involving some amount of cost. So this makes this activity, this component very significant for us, because it is going to be a revenue generation point where the customers are going to buy our product and we are going to get our revenue. So before dealing with the customers, let's understand what are the different types of customers markets we may deal with. It can be consumer, that is end user, that is B2C. If we are dealing with the consumers, end users, we call it B2C market. If we are dealing with a business, it is called B2B market. If we are dealing with a reseller, then again it is also B2B, but to be very specific, we are going to sell it to resellers. If we are going to deal with the government, we call it business to government, that is B2G market. And if I am talking about international market, of course our strategy can be B2B, B2C, B2G, but at a global level, at an international level. So we have to understand the international marketing environment also before we proceed for this kind of strategy. So what we do, we have to first understand who are my potential customers, what are their specific needs, wants and demands, what is their prior purchase experience. So we can identify the concerned problems or the relevant problems which are being faced by the customers, or the recent problems which are being faced by the customers. And if we somehow, to some extent, we are able to solve those problems, of course customer is bound to buy our product. So we have to understand, we have to do the mapping of our customers, who all are my customers, what is my target market, and out of the target market we can position ourselves in terms of quality and price, that what my customer want, what is their paying capacity and what is their need set. Accordingly we can go for determining our strategies. So understanding customers is a very significant component of understanding macroeconomic environment. We have to understand who are my customers, what are their needs and wants, and what exactly they want. And when I talk about customers, I have to deal with all 4 C's. What cost my customer is willing to pay, what utility my customer wants from my product, that is the first P. For me as a marketing strategy person, that I have to decide that what should be my product, but for customer it is a bundle of utility. So what utility they want from our product? They want a need satisfier. So whether my product has that capacity of satisfying the need of my customers or potential customers or not. And the second one is price for me, but for them it is cost to the customers, what cost my customer is willing to bear for this specific product. What is the convenient place for my customer to get the product, so customers convenience. And communication to the customer, that is called promotion from our side. We have to understand the 4 C's. What are the 4 C's of my customers? That is customers value, second is customers cost, third one is communication to them, and fourth one is their convenience. So if we understand our customers, we can ensure the proper implementation of 4 C's in our strategies. Next comes our competitors. Some people think that why to look at competitors, why to waste our energy in doing the mapping of our competitors. No, competition is bound to create excellence. Unless we try to do the mapping of our competitors, we cannot position ourselves that, see, this is the point where we are different from our competitors. So we have to conduct competitors analysis for success of our own company. A marketer must monitor their competitors' offerings to create strategic advantage. If I know that what my all competitors are offering, by making a minor change, I can create a strategic advantage. I can tell my customers that, see, this is the point, this is what we are, this is the point where we are better than other suppliers, other competitors of ours. So we can create strategic advantage only when we understand who are my competitors. So, competitors mapping and their analysis is very much important for continuous improvement of our products and services, and also it helps us in creating strategic advantage. Next comes public. Now, when I talk about public, what is public? A group which has an actual or potential interest, or they may have impact in our company, they may have some potential interest. So, public is not part of customers, but they can be a potential customers. They may become a customer of ours in future. So, there is a huge possibility of turning this part of population into the group of our customers. So, we have to understand what this component public include. Public include the financial institutions, it includes media which is there into the communication, then we have government organizations, we have citizen action programs, and we have local people who are actually looking at the company from the point of their social responsibility, that what this company is doing. And there can be a general public who has nothing to do with your products, with your offerings. Like suppose if there is a person who is teetotaler, who he has nothing to do with the company which is dealing with the breweries. So, they are basically they can never turn themselves into a customer of that company, because they have decided that is their choice. They are not going to buy your product, but what is their general perception? So, that also makes an impact on my company's image. So, we have to understand that public is basically that part of population which is not forming part of our customers. They are not our customers, but they have huge potential to become our customers. So, we have to understand that they can represent any of these listed sectors, ranging from financial to media, government, citizen action, local and general public. So, my dear learners, these 6 components, they form part of micro environment, and they are very close to our company's operations. So, we have to understand, if we have a better understanding of these components and we formulate our strategies according to that, there is nothing which can stop us from gaining our desired results, that is customers profit through customer satisfaction, or you can say customer satisfaction with profit. So, that can be the right way of putting profit behind this point of customer satisfaction. As we all know, customer satisfaction should always be given the top priority. So, they form part of micro environment. Now, when we talk about the macro environment, now that is the second part. The macro environment forces are basically those forces which are basically broad in nature, and they are not specific to our company. They can be demographic component, they can be economic component, natural, technological, socio cultural and political legal. So, let us start with demographic environment. What exactly we mean by this demographic environment? It is a study of human population. You can say that we are going to identify, we are going to understand the different components of population. It can be in terms of size, it can be in terms of density of population, location, age, gender, race, occupation, and there can be some other ways also to classify the demographic. Now, suppose if I talk about India as a country, what are the changes we are witnessing in the demographic environment of India? Suppose I am a marketer and I am going to deal with the customers of India as a nation. So, I have to first understand what is the demographic environment of India as a nation. So, there is a changing age structure of Indian population, which is the most important demographic trend. Very often we talk about the term, we use the term demographic dividend. What that demographic dividend is? That is coming from the age structure of Indian demography or Indian population, what you call. If we talk about size of India, India has a population of over 1.4 billion, making it the most populous country after China. So, what is the outcome of this line? What is the outcome of this statement? How can we interpret as a marketer? We can find a big market, the huge market, the size of market, and this large population presents both an opportunity for us, and along with that we have some challenges also, because dealing with such a huge population as a company is not that easy a task. We have to understand that the size of population is giving me an opportunity, but at the same time it is posing huge challenges. It requires very broad, or you can say a huge size of the suppliers and marketing intermediaries. From where are we getting those suppliers, and how we are going to distribute the products or services to our customers, that will become a challenge. But yes, it has a huge potential, it can attract us, that if I have a good quality of product which can cater to a specific need set of my customer, the demand is not a problem. The problem is only of supplies, that we need to supply the product as per the customer's demand. The next is the youthful population, and here is the point where we talk about demographic dividend. India has a median age of around 28 years, with a significant proportion of the population being under 35, which makes India a youthful country, a young India, and we can find that the demographic dividend can come from here. So, we have huge size of or proportionate size of population under the age of 35, which means we have a huge number of working population. So, even the workforce is not a problem, you can find the workforce for your company. And the best part of this youthful population is that it is tech savvy, and it is more open to adopting new trends and challenges which are coming to us. So, all these things are making Indian market the most attractive and lucrative market. The entire world is looking at India as one of the best market. Although China does have the same kind of population, even the greater than India's population, but if we talk about demographic dividend, it is a USP of India as a nation. So if we talk about tech products, if we talk about fashion, if we talk about entertainment, or if we talk about lifestyle brands, India is it has emerged as the most attractive market for these products. And the middle class, in terms of income, if we classify the population, the middle class is growing rapidly. The expanding middle class is very critical consumer segment for marketers nowadays, and there is a study which indicates that by 2030, India is expected to have more than 1 billion middle class customers. And this demographic has a growing purchasing power, and it is more likely to spend on aspirational products and services. Since they have increasing purchasing power, growing purchasing power, they are there to spend on aspirational products and services. So, the marketers who are going to deal with those products which belong to this category of aspirational products and services, for them there is a huge opportunity. The problem is not of demand, the problem is of requisite supply. There is a customer available, customer is willing to buy a product which can exactly cater to their own requirement, but what about the supplies, whether it is available or not? And after this very understanding of demographic dividend, or India being a country of youthful population, there is another trend which is very much in, is called urbanization. Rapid urbanization is occurring in India, and millions and millions of people are migrating from rural areas to the urban cities or metropolitan cities. And if we talk about the urban centers, like say metropolitan cities, if we take Delhi, Mumbai, Kolkata and Chennai, and even the Bangalore and other tier 2 and tier 3 cities, they have high consumption zones, cause there is a greater access to infrastructure, technology and premium products. So, we are finding huge number of customers concentrated in these cities, and that is why this entire organized retailing has emerged because of this increased urbanization. I would discuss with you about this trend when we will talk about the retailing as a specific sector of part of marketing, where we will talk about organized and unorganized retailing. So, amid all this, what is the key point is that even the rural markets still represent a significant share of demand, especially for mass marketing products, where we are going to deal with the product or the marketer who is willing to go for following market penetration pricing strategy, where they are willing to deal with the mass marketing products. As we all know that India is a country of villages, we have around 6,75,000 villages in India. So, imagine that these rural areas, they do have huge demand, although the type of product may be different. They need mass marketing products there, they need market penetration as a pricing strategy there, but still the demand is very high. And between the urban and rural areas, there is a synthesis of these two, and we call it as rurban. RURBAN. that is a combination of rural and urban areas. If you take example of Delhi, even in Delhi there are certain areas which are basically part of the villages adjacent to Delhi. So, imagine there is a rural area in a metropolitan city like Delhi also. So, in the outskirts of Delhi you would find an area where which seems like a typical village of our country, and there comes the combination of rural and urban components. So, there you can find a marketer who is following a synthesis of these two, that is called, the strategy is called urban marketing strategy. So, you are going to deal with a customer who is very much urban in certain aspects of their purchases, of their buying behavior, but at the core they are very much rural. So, you have to formulate a strategy which can best suit to their this urban kind of mindset, where they are not completely rural, neither they are completely rural nor they are completely urban. So, they are actually behaving like a urban person, where the component of rural and urban both are present. So, we have to understand that increasing urbanization is another trend of Indian demography, and if we understand that this is what is the trend, this is what is the type of population we are going to deal with, as a marketer we can recognize the complexities of the demographic makeup, from the youthful to tech savvy urban population to the vast rural consumer base, and accordingly we can succeed in getting the desired results. We can reach to the customers in an effective manner. We can go for offering the customized products to our customers. We can go for using tailoring strategies to cater to the regional, cultural and income based diversities. Those diversities cannot be ignored. We have to understand that although they are part of cultural, socio-cultural environment that I would discuss in detail when I would reach to that point, but yes, there is an overlapping. Even in the demography, the cultural and economic based diversities, they are going to be taken care of by the marketers. So, we have to understand these trends which is happening, whether it is in case of technological adoption, or it is in case of, it is the case of the youthful population. So, by segmenting the market in an effective manner and by addressing the specific needs and aspirations of different demographic groups, brands can find the immense opportunities in this rapidly evolving and diverse market of India. I gave you example of Indian market from that perspective, that how to deal with these demographic factors. Moving ahead, we can talk about the natural environment also. What is natural environment? What it consists of? It involves the natural resources which are needed as inputs by marketers, or they are affected by marketing activities of a marketer. What is the trend in case of natural environment? There is a shortage of raw material. At times we find shortage of raw material due to the climatic changes, due to the climatic reasons, due to the resource being the natural resource. So, how to deal with this shortage of raw material, that is a challenge, and which is coming from the natural environment. There can be a increasing pollution also be a challenge for us, which is coming from the nature, which is coming from the environment, where we have to understand that the kind of pollution we are emitting, we have to be very cautious that with this increased pollution, what are the new trends, how to deal with them. That also comes under this component of natural environment. It involves all natural resources which are needed as inputs by markets. So, after we understand the natural environment, since I have discussed it briefly before also, that is why I am not emphasizing much on this. I will move ahead to the next component, that is called technological environment. When I talk about technology, technology is nothing but the inclusion of AI and ML into our marketing strategies as well. When we start using artificial intelligence and machine learning for not only formulating but also implementing our marketing strategies, that makes our understanding better in terms of understanding technological environment. The most dramatic force which is shaping the destiny of any company is technological environment. If you are not in sync with the latest technological changes, you will be weeded out, you will not be able to survive for long. So, either you innovate in terms of technological changes in the market, or you be ready for being perished, you be ready for being a page in the history of marketing news. So, we have to understand that there is a rapidly changing force which creates many new marketing opportunities, and that is coming from the technological environment. But it also turns many existing product extinct. So, we have to be ready for moving ahead, by leaving the redundant products which are not demanded by the customers anymore. So, we have to understand that whether my customer actually need the product which I am offering or not. If they do not want, why to offer? Why to offer a product which is not at all in demand, and then saying that there is a dearth of demand, there is a lack of demand in the market. Market demands something else, and we are offering something else. So, we have to understand that we cannot ignore the power of technology even in formulating and implementing our marketing strategies. Next is political legal environment, and it consists of since it is political legal, it consists of the laws, government agencies, their regulations, and also the pressure group which influence the government policies, and it limit various organizations and individuals in a given society. So, legislation which may affect my business or the entire industry worldwide, it has increased law protect companies, consumers, and interest of society, increased emphasis on social responsible actions. That is a new trend. These are some of the trends which are coming in front of us when we talk about political environment. If I talk about nowadays there is a huge discussion going on the halal certified products, whether we actually need it in a country like India or not. So, although it is a question of debate, but when we talk about the legal rules and regulations, of course, once it is implemented by the government, by any enactment, of course, we have to follow. So, we have to understand, my dear learners, that this political environment also gives us an idea about, gives us an underline about the legal rules and regulations which we are supposed to abide by as a corporate citizen. We have to follow all those rules and regulations which are implemented by the government of any country wherever we operate. And here comes the role of the cause related marketing. Marketers create link between brand and charitable organizations also. They demonstrate social responsibility nowadays. That is also a trend. So, we have to understand that political legal environment, like suppose if I take example of CSR. CSR in India is now a part of an enactment of Companies Act 2013, where companies which are fulfilling certain criteria, they have to shell out 2% of their profit on CSR, listed CSR activities they have to spend. So, we can build positive brand image by maintaining and understanding these environment related factors and formulating our strategies in such a way that we should be an aware person that what is the environment with which I am surrounded, and how to deal with the challenges which are being imposed on us by these environmental factors. So, I hope you must have understood the components which I have discussed up till now. Remaining part of this these components I shall discuss in the next lecture of mine. Thank you so much.